This morning I picked up 2 passengers at one stop that were heading to 2 entirely different destinations. However, they only had one stop in the Uber app. What could possibly go wrong? Hey, what's up, Rideshare World? Chuck Driver here. As soon as I swipe right to start this trip, the primary passenger informs me that there are actually 2 stops on this ride, but she only put 1 in the actual Uber app.
So we're going to park and ride.
Okay.
And I want to add a stop to.
Okay. Yeah, I can't do that in the app. You're gonna have to do that in the app. My first thought, because this has happened to me before, is to go to the first stop that's not included in the trip details. Then second, go to their actual destination that's in the Uber app. However, the primary passenger was adamant that I drop her off first at the destination listed in the app because she had a bus to catch. Then take the other passenger to their destination.
I'm going to the park and ride first to catch the bus.
And I advised her several times that I wasn't going to get paid for the additional stop in that scenario. And I advocated that she add an additional stop.
Yeah, if you don't add another thing, I don't get paid for going from there to there.
I don't get paid.
But like everything in the app, Uber makes it very difficult to find the necessary tools when needed. So the primary passenger was struggling to add a stop. Instead, it appeared that she was trying to book an entirely new trip for the guest passenger. We arrived at the destination within a few minutes, and she had yet to add a stop. At that point, I asked them both to leave because I had already accepted another trip and had to be on my way to pick up that passenger. However, the primary passenger became visibly upset, stating that, you'll get paid for the ride. I advised her that I would likely not get paid for the additional time and miles to the additional stop when she exited my vehicle. I explained that Uber does this to protect her.
No, I accepted a different ride. I thought you were adding it to this ride because you can add a stop to the ride.
She then offered to Zelle me money, but I told her I couldn't because it's against Uber's terms of service, and I was just trying to protect myself there.
Yeah, it's going to go to a different driver if you order another ride because I already accepted one.
You have a Zelle? I could Zelle the money.
We're not supposed to do that. It's against
policy. No, it's okay.
At this time, several things were also going through my mind. First was a recent safety report against me just a week prior, so I didn't want to escalate this situation any further that would limit my access to Uber's platform. I could have pressed the passengers further to exit my vehicle, but decided that it was not worth the possible negative consequences, and therefore in my best interest to just do whatever they ask.
He's right on the main there too. You could just drop him there.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to, but I had no choice, I guess.
Second, I wanted this situation to be over with as fast as possible with little resistance, even if that meant getting shafted a few bucks. And it was only a few extra minutes down the road, so that's what I did. And shafted on this fare I got. Your earnings for this trip were recalculated due to unusual activity. Yep, that's exactly what I told the primary passenger would happen. And this fare adjustment pissed me off more than what the passengers put me through. Sure, you're going to be in this situation a few times out of every 1,000 trips. It's just part of the business. And I'm not saying that the passengers are entirely innocent here, but Uber doesn't make it easy to quickly add stops on the go. Nor do they make it easy for drivers to speak to a live human support agent to solve these minor issues, which is frustrating. It appears that only diamond drivers receive live human support agents. So I was given 2 options when reaching out to Uber: call or message them through the app. So I called first, hoping that I would get a live person, but I didn't. The call went to an automated message that states how Uber is improving their customer service processes to serve their drivers better.
We've made some improvements to our support processes to enable us to serve you better.
Then to say that they are no longer accepting calls at this supplied number and just hang up.
We are no longer accepting calls at this number.
You can't make this stuff up. And Uber's disconnect with their drivers can be summed up with this interaction. But I expect nothing less from Uber. The only other option to reach out to Uber support is to message them, which takes 6 to 12 hours. Seriously. And about 6 hours later, I received my answer from them. Thanks for reaching out, Charles. We took a look at the trip and noticed that it has already been reviewed. Yes, it's been reviewed by a bot. You're right. In this case, as a decision has already been taken, we will not be able to make any further adjustments to the fare. We appreciate your understanding. In other words, screw off and go pound sand. I did learn through my post on X that I could have just edited the trip using the pencil feature hidden within the navigation header of any trip. Again, Uber makes nothing easy to solve, but at least I know this going forward. So what are your thoughts? Comment below what you would have done in this situation. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.